all should be upgraded. I got the worst overall defense still.
The playoffs are in full swing as we welcome you to this postseason contest on EA Sports. Coming up, let's close out another great week of football with a Sunday night primetime matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Let the postseason begin. We're underway in this AFC wildcard weekend contest. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. All right, let's get this one on the road, Brock. It is 1st and 10. Here's Travis Etienne on the ground. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
Mix off the play action. Metcalf working that right side. And the stop is made just before he's able to reach that midfield strike. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
The ball's on the 48. Here we go. First down.
Ready? Captain.
It's Nix out of the pistol. This is a heater going deep. This is caught inside the 15. It's a huge pickup on the play. And that will give them some serious momentum along with a first down. The pistol going to run with Etienne. And he's going to be hauled down after a gain of about 7. It's 2nd down.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Looking for a pass on 2nd and short. And he has the Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers take a 6-0 lead on their opening drive. It's a DK Metcalf touchdown. Chris Boswell for the point after. Split off with his aim, but that point after is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 7-0 lead.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Xavier Worthy now on the return. Gets across the 30 before he's brought down.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
New set of downs for him from the 31. Kenneth Walker gets it for the first time. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play. So some immediate revenge for that last play, Brock. I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to take away the pain from giving up that big run the prior play?
Not necessarily, because it really does take a group failure to give up a big run like that in the NFL, but it also takes a whole lot of teamwork to knock him behind the sticks. Job well done there.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game, so they're left facing 3rd and long. 3rd and long for him here. He has the first over the middle. And he is stopped as he reaches that 46-yard line. That's 16 on the pickup. And that's a Chiefs first down.
The numbers are pretty clear, Kate. You get explosive plays. Those explosive plays on drives lead to points. You can't ask for a better start offensively.
1st and 10. It's Mahomes. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
This is going to be incomplete again. The defender knocks this one away and brings up 3rd down.
You know, it's tough to succeed at linebacker in most defenses if you can't hold your own in coverage. They rely on you to break up throws just like that and take some of the stress off the secondary.
3rd down, it's Mahomes. The defender was waiting for that one to make a play on it, knocked it away, forcing 4th down. So no initial clapback, at least not immediately. Gonna have to play from a deficit for at least a little while as that opening drive stalls out.
And your hope here offensively is that deficit remains unchanged when you get the ball back the next time, because you do not want to be looking 2 scores down to start this one out.
So here we go. This is that aggressive mindset they've been talking about. They're going for it here. They're going for it with Mahomes. Has a man on target to Johnson. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. How about 19 yards on 4th down, partner? And the call to go for it pays off. Good opening drive to this point. They've got another first down at the 34.
First down, Chiefs.
Throwing again, Mahomes. Finding Johnson once more. And there's the stop after he drives this down to the 13. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down.
The analytics will tell you a handful of these kind of plays per game, and your odds per drive of scoring go way up.
Kansas City.
First down throw, Mahomes. This one's caught. And that's a Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs finish off their opening drive. Now Harrison Butker for the point after.
Harrison Butker on for the point after.
Right down the middle, it's good. And the Chiefs respond with 7 of their own to tie it here early.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after tying this game up, they're all set to send her away. Here's Miller on the return. The coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line.
Over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's first and 10. Here's ETN to begin the drive. Powering his way forward a bit. Give him about 6 there to begin this drive. Offense in the hurry up here.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
To throw, here's Nix. Connects on the crosser. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him.
Gain of 10 yards.
They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down. No doubt they'll take a repeat of how this game began, Brock, and that play has them on their way towards it.
Scripting for success. They'll keep pressing the advantage, too, until some resistance has got to finally appear.
First down from the 42. Inside handoff goes to ETN. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
Really good patience right there. It's hard to do for runners in this league because these holes close up so fast. But he was patient, he was explosive, and had a nice little gain on the ground.
He just get the play off. And they're able to take him down, and that sack is how we're going to end our first quarter of play. We've reached the end of one in this opening round of the AFC playoffs. Both teams neck and neck so far. More from Acrisure Stadium after the break. Second quarter, all queued up and ready to go. It's Steeler football. They'll need something big here to start out. It's 3rd and long. Here he goes, 3rd and long. And that's going to fall incomplete on a look to his running back, and it's going to bring up 4th down. So here's Jack Brownie to punt this one away. Chiefs had Xavier Worthy after the return. Take it from the 1. They found some space to do a little damage there before they bottle him up.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The offense to the line. They're going to have trips right to start out. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Higgins, the man in motion right. Operating from the gun. Here's Mahomes. And again, it's going to hit the ground. Incomplete. Looking for his running back, and 2 straight incompletions. It made this 3rd down. Still 10 yards to get this first down as they come to the line. Throw here, 3rd down. Finds him on the crossing route. And some excellent work to drive them all the way up past the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And it's going to be first down, Kansas City.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Back to the air, Mahomes. And he slides down with enough to pick up that first.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
First down, Chiefs.
Mahomes on 1st and 10. It's incomplete to Kenneth Walker. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's a Chiefs first down. Walker now from the gun. Well, he has power through 1 tackle just to get back to the line that time.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just sometimes you got to run into darkness. Just go where there is no lane and hope that something opens along the way. That linebacker said, not this time.
Escapes the pocket. He's keeping it. And he's going to get it out past the 40 before he goes out.
Well, you don't get the first down, but I'll tell you this, Kate, that drives the defense and the defensive coordinator nuts. They do everything right. They win, and yet still QB makes something out of nothing.
3rd and short. Here's Mahomes. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And that'll bring up 4th and 3. The pass on that long field goal would have been 55 yards. They're going for this. Mahomes throwing on 4th. Sends this to the end zone. And he hauls that one in. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs take a 2nd quarter lead. Xavier Worthy, the touchdown. Butker to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Chiefs break that tie and now lead by 7.
Steelers 7. Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Butker on now to kick this one away. Return starts from the goal line. Returnable from near the end zone. And they get to him before he can amount to much, just beyond that 15-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
All right, Steelers to the line now. 1st and 10. Here's Nix to throw. That'll be incomplete to start the new set of downs.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, well, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
2nd down, still 10 to go after that incomplete pass. They'll give this up the middle to ETN. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. L'Jarius Sneed there for the stop. 3rd down here, need 8 on the play.
A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
No throw, 3rd and long. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
That one really stings, Kate, because you want to convert there and not only keep this drive going for points, but because now you're giving your opponent a chance to go pad that lead before halftime. That's a no-no.
This offense is not leaving the field. On 4th and 8, they're going for it. They're going for it. It's Nix. This one's caught. Smith has it. And he's going to have this up near the 40, just a little bit short of it. It's going to be a 20-yard hit on 4th down, Brock. That keeps this drive moving.
You know, Kate, years ago, my old high school receiver and I got together for a football camp. I could still close my eyes and throw him that slant. We've done it millions of times. You get a QB receiver connection like that, it's dynamite.
Nix with it on 1st. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
Give him 13 on that play. And a fresh set of downs for Pittsburgh. From the gun, ETN gets it. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run. He is quickly making a habit out of wrecking plays, Brock, and it doesn't seem to matter what type of play that is.
It's what the best of them do. We talk about just the versatility of offensive players being dual threats. This guy's a dual threat against the pass, and that time stuffing the run.
Throwing here, Nix. Lasers this one deep down the middle. Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Chiefs will take the interception back across midfield before they finally track him down.
Oh, coaches just love that effort right there. Instantly, as he made the pick, everybody was looking for a block and doing their part to set up the return. And I know it pales in comparison to giving up the turnover, but how about the effort on the other side to track him down and stop a potential pick six? I think everybody deserves a little credit on the field for that effort.
Pride connecting with Xavier Worthy there. And it sets up 2nd down.
Okay, this quarterback gets out of the pocket, genuinely a coin toss whether he's going to keep it with his legs or put in the air. Sigh of relief there defensively as that ball falls incomplete.
Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. This is hauled in by T. Higgins. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. Goes to the hurry up here. Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. This one misses the tight end. So it's going to be 4th and short.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was 3rd and manageable and an incomplete.
They'll go. It's Mahomes. Has him on the quick hitter. This is close, but I don't think he got there, Brock. The stop is made in time. They're turning this over on downs.
Yeah, I don't care that they didn't get it. Still the right call in that situation. It's a little too long for a field goal, and a punt really nets you very few yards. The decision-making was sound. It was the execution that let them down.
It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. And the Chiefs get it back with a nice return to boot down inside the 30.
Well, that's now 2, Kate, that they've gotten him for picks in this game, and he's got to be careful. Right? You've got to protect the football. It is the greatest treasure you have as an offense. And this defense, well, they've got 2 in their pocket, and you know they're going to be going after number 3.
1st and 10, it's Mahomes. In the hands of his running back, Walker. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. The Chiefs signal for a timeout. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
Throwing on 1st down, Mahomes. And he has the catch. It's both feet in. That's a touchdown. The Chiefs will add to their lead at the end of the half. T. Higgins, the touchdown. Extra point by Butker is up and good. And the Chiefs double their lead to 14.
Steelers 7. Harrison Butker to kick off 14.
Butker on now to kick this one away. So it goes for a touchback. Let's see what they decide to do with the time they've got remaining here.
20-yard line.
First and 10, but only time left for maybe a couple of plays here. Back to work after throwing the pick. Gets it downfield on target to Metcalf. And they will finally catch up to him just a second before he can reach that 40. All right, with 6 seconds left, we've got a timeout. And for somebody who's been picked off like he has, Brock, you gotta admire his determination to keep attacking these coverages.
Yeah, that is risk. Right in a double coverage yet again. But this guy's got what I call a high belief factor.
Brought in inside the 20. And he is down all the way to that 15-yard line. That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
With this kick, we're back underway. A spot in the divisional round on the line. Worthy now to return it. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
Xavier Worthy on the return. The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Chiefs coming up to the line here. It's first and 10. First play of the drive. Here's Walker. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield.
You know, it is so refreshing for these running backs when they have space to run. It's hard. There's so many collisions between the tackles. When they get on the edge and have green grass, you know, the best of them take advantage of it.
Going to the ground again on first. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Darnell Savage brings that to an end.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
They go play action. It's Mahomes. Finds him over the middle. He has room past the 25. Now this is going to take him into the red zone. He's down to the 16-yard line. How about a big hitter? 34 yards there and a new set of downs. Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got first and 10 from the red zone. We give up the gut to Walker. He's brought down by a collective effort there. Only 1 yard on the carry. Working quickly here. Off play action. It's Mahomes. Bails out of the pocket quick. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs grow the lead coming out of halftime. T. Higgins, the touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. Butker with the extra point. And the Chiefs stretch their lead to 21.
Steelers 7. Harrison Butker to kick off.
Butker on now to kick this one away. Here's Miller on the return. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's first and 10. It's Nix out of the pistol. Left side pulled in by Pittman. He's forced out of bounds after a gain of about 4 there. Second down.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on a throw, that's a go-to route to target.
Shotgun snap to Nix. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
Okay, that was so good, really, on two levels there defensively. Number one, with an athletic quarterback, you've got to keep him in the pocket. They did. And then more importantly, and in this case, you got to finish him. Job well done.
Short pass brought in. And this is going to be fourth down, Brock. He's out of bounds well shy of what they needed there.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
A full quarter to go, but they feel like they got to make their move now. They are going for this. Going for it on fourth. Nix. Oh, no, they get him yet again. And the Chiefs will take over with the football just outside the 30. Well, no doubt they envisioned that as the start of a second-half push for the lead. But the defense, well, defense had other ideas, Brock, protecting their team's advantage and taking possession back on the first play of the series.
Not the way you needed to start the half if you were thinking comeback, but exactly the way to start the half if you're trying to take this lead and step on it. That's a defender who sensed the need for a splash play and delivers.
Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Well, Brock, this substantial deficit sure hasn't honed the edge that this defense is playing with, huh? If anything, feels like they might be getting more aggressive, looking to make some sort of impact play.
And that's because turnovers are really the name of the game for this defense at this point, Cade. That aggressiveness still super welcome, no question. But they know it's not just incompletions, it's taking the ball away that's next.
Butker knocks it through. And the advantage now sits at 24.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
Butker on now to kick this one away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Good field position as the Steelers come up to it. 1st and 10. On the ground to begin this drive with Etienne. And he gets a few on the plunge forward. Offensive line fast.
4 yards on the pickup.
Here's Nix. Completed over the middle. And this one does not go far. 3rd and 4 coming up now.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
They take the handoff. Now Nix. Caught into the hands of Fryermuth. This is going to make it down to the 24-yard line. A big 34-yard pickup there. Man, the Steelers have a 1st down. Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. Here's Etienne on 1st down. And his charge towards the line, it's right around 3 yards.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a 1st down.
On 2nd down, it's Etienne. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the 1st down.
And the Steelers' 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Working inside the red zone. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with...
And that's a Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers shave some off the deficit late in the quarter. Well, Brock, this one has not been good to them so far, but they are still fighting and able to get in there for 6.
Just a drive that was all about scratching and clawing. As much as anything, Kate, it was just a pride drive to go and get your job done.
The Steelers
Nick's going to try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught, getting aggressive as they trail in this game, and that takes them 2 points closer.
Chiefs 31, Steelers 15. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Worthy now to return it. And decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
All right, working from the gun to start. First and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. It's caught right side by Johnson. And he's going to be brought down here at the 42. That's going to go as a gain of 13 yards. And it's going to be first down, Kansas City. 1 quarter to go, Brock, and we'll see who can earn the wild card win. It's Chiefs football, just 1 quarter away from a postseason victory. First down from the 42. Working now from the gun. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Finds the in route complete. And he's brought down after a short gain.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you could depend on.
Third down, it's Mahomes. He puts some air under it deep down the left. That one's caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs have likely locked up the win right there. Xavier Worthy, the touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. That one right down the middle. And the Chiefs stretch the lead to 23.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Butker on now to kick this one away. And no return here, and this is a touchback, and the ball's going to come out to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
All right, starting in the pistol this time, Brock. First and 10.
Ready.
Nix from the gun. Trying for the deep ball. And this is going to end up incomplete. He really aired it out there on first down, but just couldn't make the connection. He's been a frequent target throughout this game, Brock. We've seen that coverage tighten up a little bit more on him every time the ball's thrown his way.
Well, hasn't taken him off the board completely. He's still beating them for some catches, but the heightened focus defensively does lead to moments like that one where what would normally be a catch falls incomplete.
He's got it inside the 25. And he has it down near the red zone, just outside the 20. So as we all recover from that last play, it's first and 10 near the red zone. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
Hey, I got him, man. I got him.
Nix again on second and 10. Couldn't connect across the middle. It's an incomplete pass. Thought he had a touchdown there. And that's going to leave him with a tough third and long. Still 10 yards to get this first down as they come to the line. On third down, here's Nix. Completed left side to Smith. And they'll get there and stop him at the line. That's the rookie from Texas A&M who took him down.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the fourth down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
And that play doesn't get it done. We've got a turnover on down.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
He lobs this up left sideline, looking for something big. Looking for his wide receiver there. And now it's second down.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. In the hands of his running back, Walker. And he's going to get this up to the 26 before being taken down.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to third down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Third and short, here's Mahomes. He's got his man, this is Walker. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. Give him 8 on that one. And that's a Chiefs first down.
First down. An 8-yard pickup. First down.
Off the play fake, it's Mahomes. Flushed out of the pocket. Wow, his first real mistake, that's intercepted. Cole Holcomb has it. And the Steelers are able to bring this back to the 35-yard line. All right, Steelers to the line now. First and 10. Out of the gun, it's Nix. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. He arrived as the ball did to break things up. So that brings up second down.
Yeah, this game, you just can't make it harder than it needs to be. Just get the catch first. Guarantee your yards, and then worry about escaping defenders after the catch.
Second down. Here's Nix again. Taking a chance to the end zone. Ooh, would have been a big gainer if they connected, but they could not. Instead, third down coming up.
Defensive coaches in the NFL say it all the time. Limit the big play. Keep these guys in front of you. Well, this defense is going to have to stay vigilant because this receiver, he can take the lid off the defense at any time.
And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And a fresh set of downs for Pittsburgh. That brings us to the 2-minute warning in Pittsburgh. Steelers trying to make it look a little nicer on that scoreboard. Throwing on first down, Nix. Cut near the goal line. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers parlay the interception into points. Roman Wilson, the touchdown. Now the offense and Nix coming to the line, looking to tack on 2 more. All right, they're going to throw for it. And he makes the catch, so hope not entirely extinguished just yet. Still a little glimmer remaining as that makes it a 2-score game here late. Oh, it's a favorite of NFL teams and armchair quarterbacks alike, partner. The quick slant. It is so tough to defend that close to the goal line, and this time it works for 2.
It sure is. It's one of those plays that I think Bart Starr was running in the 60s, that slant route. When you incorporate it with the threat of a fade as well, that's when it becomes so effective. But you get inside that DB, you show the quarterback your numbers, and it's almost automatic for a 2-point conversion.
And send him over right. They'll run here on first down. And he'll come up with a gain of 3 on the run up the middle. The Steelers calling their first time out, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 37-yard line.
Hand off to Walker from the gun. Well, that's not what the offense dialed up. They stick him for a loss, so it's going to be third down. Pittsburgh will go ahead and use its second timeout. And they'll have just 1 left to burn now.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way Just telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Third and long, they're going to throw. Into traffic, complete. And he has the Chiefs first down there, Brock, and the celebration can begin as they can run out the clock now on this one.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Now an inside give to Walker. Bounces this outside, winds up with a nice chunk of yards there as a result. It's second down.
You know, Kate, it's plays like that. It's just kind of the meat and potatoes. Not going to make any highlight reel, but just the positive, efficient plays on the ground. You need to keep plays and drives alive.
He intercepts it. That is exactly what they needed. Picked off by Travis Hunter. And the Steelers will take over as this gets brought out to the 20-yard line.
Intercepted. The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's first and 10.
¡Oh, my son! ¡Hey! ¡Arriba! ¡Away, away, away! ¡Away!
Shotgun snap to Nix. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And nice work by the defense to start this drive out. It's a sack on the first play.
Hey, Kate, I think we know that the quarterback's a demanding position because not only do you have to have a clock in your head, but you've got to have a spatial awareness of where you are on the field. And once you start retreating, going backward and backward and backward, you got to just fling the ball in the stands. Otherwise, well, you take a huge negative sack like that.
So it's a win for the visiting Chiefs. And you never want to count out those wild card teams once the postseason begins, right? We've seen a few go on magical runs before, and they've officially begun theirs here, fighting their way to next week's divisional round games. So that puts a bow on this one. For my partner, Brock Heward, and everyone involved on our crew, I'm Kate Scott signing off. This has been another presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Chiefs as we say so long from Pittsburgh.